Hey everybody, Big Toad here. Why don't we go ahead and open up these shards? I'm going to start with the 3 blue. I'm going to save the void for last, but let's see how we're doing now. I've been under the shard curse, have not pulled anything good off the rare that I really am excited about. So let's go ahead and open these 3 and see what we get. Bulgarian Jailer. Again, mediocre at best. Now, ogres. I don't have a lot of ogres. I'll probably get him up to 30 and start into faction wars with him. And that's what you want to do. You need at least 2 champions to have any success in faction wars, and you want to be at least hitting level 1 on faction wars every faction. You want to climb obviously eventually, but early game try to get something so you're getting those charms, you're getting those items out of faction wars. Let's go ahead and open the next one. So far, curse is holding. Can't get anything good out of a blue shard. And what do we get here? Okay, a witness. Now she scores pretty decently. Again, not on my top tier list for rares, not on anybody's top tier list. She gets a 15% chance to get an extra hit. Okay, that's okay. Places a 30% increased defense buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 3 turns. All right. And then she just does her attack. Nothing really special there. Puts a block debuff buff on all allies for 1 turn. Places a shield buff equal to 15% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 2 turns. Now that's where her strength is. You get that ascendant and places that block debuff buff on all allies for 1 turn and places shield equal to 30%. So the shield's stronger once you get her 3-star ascendant. And then she does have a passive increase resistance and faction crypts. So she'll be a great early game faction wars champion because of these 2 skills. But again, not something to get excited about. Just a utility character I'll use in this early game. Don't want to invest too much in her. And my 3rd shard, let's see if the curse continues. I can't get anything. And what do I got? Temptress. Okay. All right, let's look at her real quickly. Again, her scores. She's the community says she's okay. So let's look at the skills we've got. She's another attack champion. I am overloaded with attack champions. Attacks on one enemy has a 30% chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target. All right, so she steals a buff. Okay. Attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a leech. Now the leech is good, and that's a pretty strong skill. That 4 attacks. Again, making her ability in faction wars to be useful. You could say also because of that, if you get it down to 3 turns, it'd be great on Fire Knight to take the shield down, but only every third turn, so it's not that powerful there. And then places a 25% increase attack and a 15% increase crit rate on this champion only for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn when Seducer is on the same team. So you match her up with Seducer, and you get an extra turn every 4 turns because you're going to book it out once in that. Now the increased attack goes up and the increased crit rate goes up. Overall, mediocre champion again. The curse of the blue shards continues. I'm afraid to move on to my void shard because my luck has been terrible. Probably get some terrible blue void, but let's give it a shot and see. Drum roll, please. Oh, there we go. Okay, now again, this is not a bad pull here. It's one of the newer voids, but look at these. She's rated pretty high, not against Demon Lord or Fire Knight, and maybe campaigns is a little weak, but I don't need her in campaigns. I have, and not every champion is good in Fire Knight. That's not unusual. Again, I won't use her in campaigns. I've got Kale and Artak for campaigns. As long as you have a good farmer, that's all you care about campaigns for now. Demon Lord, 3.6. We can look at her and get a better idea. But overall, she's she's a decent void. And so let's see what she's got here. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed buff for 2 turns. All right, that's helpful to slow down, obviously, the enemy. And attacks all enemies. So we have an AoE attack, has a 75% chance of stealing 1 random buff from each enemy. See, now that's much more powerful buff stealer. And I can book her plus 25, so 100% chance of stealing 1 when I fully get her booked. And it can be every 3 turns. So that's a good skill, being it's an AoE attack, and it takes these buffs, steals them, so she gets them, or he gets them. Now, the A3 Scales of the Aegis level 1 removes all debuffs from all allies. A great skill to take all debuffs off. Now, that would be, if I didn't have a debuffer, that would be a reason why she could be in your clan boss team, to cleanse the stun that the clan boss puts down with his A1. And so that could be helpful. Then places a block debuff buff and a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. So that's another thing. You could put that block debuffs on, and then you don't have to remove that stun. So that's another good way. Now, is she the best one, or he the best one for that? Probably not, because he's not going to do a lot of damage and doesn't bring too much else, but does bring a shield, which is helpful. And right now I don't really have a good shield champ, so I might consider bringing this guy Scathix into my clan boss team if I have nobody else that can build a shield for me. And I can keep buffs off the boss by stealing him, and I can keep debuffs off my team, so that's useful. But that's also going to be useful in tag team arenas. Probably not myself. I probably would not use her or use him in a regular arenas. I would find some other approach. I know she's not, but if that's what you've got and that's what you need, then use him. But I think he's going to do faction wars is where you're going to want him have him. You're going to probably use him in some of your Doom Tower. Be good against helping you out with Spider, keeping the poisons off. Be good in Ice Golem. So there's value there. Now let's look at the 3-star. Places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever their HP drops below 30%. So if this champion gets basically their health drops below 30%, then they take a block damage and they take no more damage, which allows them to get healed up. And then the aura increases ally resistance in all battles by 40%. That's becoming more valuable as you get into later game. Early game, it's not quite as bad. It is going to help in Spider, though, with that aura, you know, to keep the poisons off. So there's a possibility there. So not a bad champion. Is it a game changer champion? No, but it's got utility that my team can use. Okay, so that is the review. My budget account after completing week 2. I'm happy with my void pull. Not powerful, but useful. All right, I'm Big Toad, and I am out.